What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Datamine video, and in today's Datamine video, I'm going to be talking about all the farmable cards that we're going to be able to farm for once Luna gets introduced into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. There's a couple cards in this farmable list that seem kind of cool, and it's going to be awesome to talk about in today's video. So if you guys are excited for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Datamine video, as always, hit that like button down below on the video and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new so you get notified when I make new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Datamine videos. Actually, though, this is the 4th episode of this Duel Links Datamine list, and due to that, to be honest, I would recommend you guys checking out the past 3 episodes. I talked about leaks for Yusei, Akiza, and Leo, and if you guys have missed out on any of those Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Datamine videos, I strongly recommend checking them out because there's also some pretty interesting cards from that list. And then also tomorrow, if you guys are watching this on Saturday, tomorrow I'll try my best and release a Crow video for you guys talking about all of Crow's Black Wing cards that we're going to be able to farm for once he gets introduced into the game. So there's a lot of leaks that you guys have potentially already missed, and you should watch those videos, and I got a couple more leak videos to make. So seriously, take a look at the channel, see if those videos are made and everything like that. I'd really appreciate it. But without further ado, let's go take a look at all these Luna cards that we're going to be able to farm for once she gets introduced into Duel Links. So first of all, credit where credit is due. Thank you so much, Yazin from my Discord, for posting all these data mines right here. As always, just thank you so much, man. If you guys want to check out these leaks before I make videos on them, you guys can join my Discord, link in the description down below. And yeah, there's that right here. But we're going to be talking about all of these cards right here, which is going to be pretty cool. So let's go dive over here to this area right here. So we have Luna in the background with Ancient Fairy Dragon. And yeah, so right here, as always with all these Duel Links Datamine videos, this is basically kind of a little bit more proof that we're going to actually be able to farm. Like, these are the farmable cards for Luna. Right now, all this is that it's just the rewards for Luna, and these are just kind of like placeholder images for once they actually get into the game. All these cards are, while they're in the game's files, they don't have any textures yet, and all that stuff. It's just the name of the card so far, and that's why all these, cards are blank on your screen right here. So there's that right there. But luckily, since all these cards are in the TCG already, I'm able to search them up on Google, and we can just talk about the cards. And the first card we're actually going to be talking about is a card that you might recognize from the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's anime, which is Regulus. This is that 4-star Lights Beast with the effect. Once per turn, you can select the field spell card in your graveyard and return it to the deck. This card has an attack of 1700 and a defense of 1000. So very basic card right here. I'm kind of surprised that this might be the UR card of to farm for, which is kind of surprising to me, because I mean, to be honest, the effect right here is kind of mediocre. You can select a field spell card from your graveyard and return it back to your deck. That kind of is not that good. But now thinking about it, I believe Luna is going to have a couple skills that are going to help out with sending or searching for field spells, so maybe this will actually play really well, because at first I was like, well, with Regulus just by itself, selecting a field spell card from your graveyard and returning it back to your deck is kind of useless in my opinion, because if your opponent destroys your card, of course, if they destroy your field spell card, that does suck. Send it and it's in the graveyard. Sending it back to the deck is kind of good on paper, but at the same time, you still have to draw into that spell card or that field spell card in the first place to even get good use out of Regulus's effect. So the chances of doing that is just not that good. But at the same time, like I said, I think there's actually going to be a skill that we're going to be able to unlock with Luna, where we can search for field spells. So you know what? This effect might actually be pretty good, especially in the future in the game. If we get some really good archetypes that only have one copy of a certain field spell, you can kind of use Regulus and Luna's abilities to basically search out for, field spell cards and recycle them. So maybe that won't be that bad. Maybe it won't be that bad. But that's Regulus right there. Nothing too crazy right there. Just a 17 attack beast monster that can return field spell cards back from the graveyard back to your deck. Next up, we're going to be talking about this card right here, and this card is very interesting right there, but I don't think it's that good. So this is Elemental Grace, and I don't know how to say that last part, but this is a light 9-star spellcaster with the effect. It cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summoned from your hand by having 6 or more monsters with different attributes in the graveyard. It gains attack and defense equal to the number of different attributes in the graveyards times 500. When your opponent would special summon a monster, quick effect, you can banish 3 monsters from your graveyard and negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. So this card has an attack of 0 and a defense of 0. So yeah, this card is interesting. I would say it's interesting, but will you pop this card off? Not that often. The summoning requirement is very just like hefty. You need to have exactly, or you just need to have 6 different or more monsters with different attributes in the graveyard. Of course, if you're playing that Grass Greener deck, you might have a chance to easily summon this card. So there's that right there, because that Grass Greener is at 3 in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is pretty cool right there. So there is that right there. You can easily summon the Elemental Grace monster through that. But at the same time, though, I don't think it's that, like, worth it, because first of all, using that grass is greener is not going to guarantee you getting all 6 different attributes into your graveyard for Elemental Grace, Denoro, or whatever, you know, so it's not a guarantee if you do that method, so that's why it's kind of meh right there. Its other effect where it gains attack defense equal to a number of different attributes and the graveyard times 500 is pretty cool. At max, you should be able to get to actually up to 3,500 attack, because if you include fire, water, wind, dark, light, and earth, also divine, that's actually 7 different attributes. I believe divine actually counts for an attribute, so you can actually get a max of 3,500 attack for Elemental Grace, but most likely you're only going to be using 6 different attributes in the first place, so there's something interesting right there. I guess with the effect where your opponent would special summon a monster's quick effect, you can banish 3 monsters from the graveyard and negate the activation if you do destroy a monster. That would actually be pretty good in my opinion, because if you are going to be playing that grass, hopefully you'll send out a ton of monsters. Hopefully you send a ton of different monsters to your graveyard with that grass is greener, so hopefully your Elemental Grace monster won't lose that much attack, even though since you have a ton of monsters, because like I said, with the attack, it only gains attack for the different attributes that you have. So if you play that grass is greener mid like 10 different monsters, you can banish 3 of your monsters, and hopefully Elemental Grace will still have a ton of attack. But if you only have 6 monsters in your graveyard with 6 different attributes, banish 3 of those monsters for this effect, your Elemental Grace is only going to have 1,500 attack afterwards. So it's a very just not a good card. All I can really see this for is just some sort of meme deck on YouTube, and that's about it. Maybe this will be a nice tech for certain decks in the future, but to be honest, I'm not feeling this card so far. But maybe there's some cool combos that you guys can figure out in Duel Links with using this card, so kind of cool right there. Next up, we're going to talk about Sunlight Unicorn. This is a 4-star light beast with the effect, once per turn you can excavate the top card of your deck, and if it was an equipped spell card, add to your hand, otherwise place it on the bottom of your deck. This card has an attack of 1,800 and a defense of 1,000, so I mean, it's kind of alright. I mean, 1,800 is not bad. You can search your top card of your deck and see if it's an equipped spell card. So I mean, deck knowledge right there. If you flip up your cards, so you use this card from your deck and you throw it to the bottom, of course. But I mean, I don't know. It's nothing too crazy right there. Equipped spells are not that crazy either, but I don't know. Maybe some heavy equipped spell decks could probably use something like Unicorn to their advantage, possibly, but I don't know. I don't know how well this card will be used in the future, but it is an interesting fact to think about for maybe decks like Noble Knights. I don't know. So, kind of interesting right there. Next up, shout out to Konami for potentially adding a Fox for me. Thank you so much, Konami. We have Watt Fox, and this is a light 2-star Thunder Tuner monster. This card is destroyed by opponent's card either by battle or card effect. Your opponent cannot special summon a monster or activate spells, traps, spell traps, or monster effects for the rest of the turn. This card has an attack of 800 and a defense of 100. So on paper, if you pull off this effect, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. You basically stop your opponent from doing anything if you pop up this effect. The issue is it's not gonna really work out for you too much. The only times I would see a lot of benefit from using this card is if you set Watt Fox face down in defense position, your opponent activates a card effect that destroys like just a monster on the board, and they choose your Watt Fox. If they destroy your Watt Fox while it's face down, I'm guessing this will be the best time to like activate this effect, because then your opponent can't do anything for the rest of the turn and they just kind of have to end their turn right away. But at the same time though, the scenario of that happening is very low. Even if they destroy your Watt Fox while it's face down during the battle phase, like for example, they summon like 3 monsters onto the board, they attack with their Watt Fox, or they attack into your Watt Fox, it gets destroyed, and then I mean, sure, they can't special summon a monster, activate spells, traps, spell trap card effects, or monster card effects for the rest of their turn. It doesn't really matter too much to them, simply because they can still attack you after they kill your Watt Fox, and there's no main phase 2 in Duel Links, so it's kind of like, I don't really like that right there, to be honest. So Watt Fox, I'm not really feeling the card too much. Sorry, buddy. But still, it is cool that it's a tuner monster, though. So the fact that we have a 2-star light Thunder tuner is actually kind of cool. So that is something to pay attention to right there. Behind that, its effect sounds good on paper, but will it activate well or consistently and go for good advantage? Probably not. Next up, though, we're going to talk about this card right here. It's Cupid Volley, and this card's actually pretty cool. So this is a 1-star light fairy with the effect. You can choose a number between 1 to 3 and then send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. Increase this card's level by the number of cards sent to the graveyard this way until the end of the turn. If this card you control is destroyed by an opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, you gain 1,500 life points. You can only use each effect of Cupid Volley once per turn. This card has an attack and defense of 600. Now, I like this card. I actually like this card a lot for this first effect where you could just choose 1 to 3, just 1 to 3 and send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard. That's actually really cool right there, and automatically I think this is like already maybe an easier or better alternative to Card Trooper, because there's been a couple decks that I've been building that needs Card Trooper, but the issue is that currently in Duel Links we only have 1 copy of Card Trooper, so something like Cupid Volley might actually be a good replacement for that, because you can choose a number between 1 to 3 and just send that many cards from the top of your deck to the graveyard, which is really cool right here. Another thing that's really cool about this card's effect is that how many cards you send to the graveyard with this effect will increase this card's level by just how many cards you send to the graveyard. So you can basically choose whatever level you want for Cupid Volley, and it will make it a lot easier to go for certain Synchro Summons. So for example, you have Junk Synchron onto your field and you want to go for Junk Warrior. Well, all you're going to want to do is that you have Junk Synchron on the field, play Cupid Volley, and send only 1 card from your deck to the graveyard to increase Cupid Volley's level by 1. So then you can go for a Synchro Summon right there. Maybe you want to summon, I don't know, Junk Berserker. Junk Synchro on the board, Cupid Volley on the board. You play Cupid Volley's effect to send 3 cards to the graveyard, increase Cupid Volley's level up by 4, and then go for a Synchro Summon right there. So this card's going to be so helpful for Synchro Summon decks and decks that need to send monsters to the graveyard. So I think this is actually going to be a card that's going to see a lot of play, and hopefully it's going to be a rare card so we can easily farm for it. If so, that'd be really cool right there. And then I guess some other things to talk about this card too is that, if this card gets destroyed by opponent's card effects in the graveyard, you gain 1500 life points. That's pretty cool right here. And then also you only can use each of these effects once per turn. So, I mean, pretty cool card right here. I like this card a lot, and I think it's going to see a lot of play when it gets released into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. So that's definitely a card to look out for, guys. And I bet some of you guys are thinking of some combos you can possibly make with using this card right here. So super cool right there. Next card we're going to talk about is Nettles. This is a 2-star Earth Plant Tuner. This card, face of card would be destroyed. You can destroy 1 face-up plant monster you control instead. 1400 attack and 400 defense. Not really much to talk about with this card, to be honest. I mean, hey, if a face-up card gets destroyed, you can destroy one of your other plant monsters instead, which would be alright. But I mean, to be honest, if you got a bunch of plant monsters on the board and this 2-star tuner, you're most likely going to go for a Synchro Summon. So, I don't know. But hey, if you really want to keep this card on the board, you can sacrifice one of your other plant monsters. It's an option right there. Next up, we're going to talk about this White Potan or something like that. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's a 1-star light fairy with the effect. If you control a face-up tuner monster, this card cannot be destroyed by battle. If this when a face-up tuner monster you control is destroyed by battle on the graveyard, inflict fire and damage to your opponent. Attack of 100 and a defense of 200. So, I guess interesting card right there, but honestly, the effect is not that good. It's a 1-star monster. If you control a face-up tuner, this card can be destroyed by battle, which is good, I guess. But most likely, if you have a tuner and this monster on the board, you're going to Synchro Summon anyway, so it's kind of, what's the point? If a tuner monster you control is destroyed by bounce in the graveyard, though, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent, which is cool, I guess. But honestly, I don't really see a point in this card. And next up, another card, which I don't know why it's in the game, is Black Potent. This is a 1-star Dark Fiend with the effect. If you control a face-up tuner monster, card cannot be destroyed by battle. When a face-up tuner monster you control will be removed from the field, you can gain 800 light points, attack of 200, and a defense of 100. To be honest, even worse than Light Poton, because it's a fact where a face-up tuner gets removed from the field. The fact that it has to get removed from the field is going to make the effect to gain 800 light points much harder than it needs to be. I don't really see the point of using a Black Potent and White Potent, but maybe I'm missing out on a certain combo that you guys know of, so I don't know right there, but still, I guess it's interesting nonetheless that you get those cards in the game. And then last but not least, we just have a couple filler cards right here. We have 2 different vanilla monsters. We have Fairy's Gift, and then this card on the right is actually called Water Element. I guess this card was never printed in the United States because there's no English artworks for Water Element, but all Water Element is literally just a 3-star water vanilla monster with 900 attack and 700 defense. Nothing crazy right here. And then Fairy's Gift, it just has 1400 attack and 1000 defense. Spellcaster, 4-star light monster, whoop-de-doo. Nothing too crazy right here. Just a couple just probably rare, or not rare, just and normal cards that we can farm for. I guess just meh. They're not really that good at all. So to be honest, whatever. But yeah, since that's the last card in today's video, that's going to do it for me for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links Datamine video. If you watched from the start to the end, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for watching these Duel Links Datamine videos. It really means the world to me. If you guys haven't already, I would strongly recommend checking out my 3 previous Duel Links Datamine videos on Yusei, Akiza, and Leo. If you guys want to just check those out, please go check those out if you haven't already, because they're more spicy leaks for that. And then tomorrow, if you guys are watching this on Saturday or on, 9th of, or on the 5th 15th of September. Tomorrow on the 16th, I'll be releasing Crow's Datamine video. If I'm not too busy, I'll be sure to record that and all that stuff right there. So I got you guys with that. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. Though, as always, if you haven't already, hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, so you get notified when I make new Duel Links Datamine videos. And I think that's all I gotta say. If so, peace out, guys.